Now, hello, YouTubers. This is Joe Kersey and Paul here at 6:15 on October 30th. Now, Paul comes home with a story about investigations in this pumpkin fraud vote thing. Tell us, Paul.
Okay, we had a pumpkin carving contest with the employees on 20. Oh shit.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Anyway,
No, we've told the story
the
already.
last business meeting, the last employee meeting, we had a pumpkin carving contest because it's October.
Well, yes, Halloween.
All right. Well, somebody voted for one. We don't know if it was a guess or what. Nobody was sure. But the way most of us dealt with it and thought about it, that if you were in the competition, you should not vote on anything. But if you had that day off and you did not come in and to get paid for being there, then yeah, fine.
Let's
Vote on one you like.
That's like saying somebody who's running for an office can't vote for themselves in a public office. So vote for that pumpkin.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, no, this is the one I told you about. Somebody put in like 10, 12
Yeah.
on Pumpkin 2.
Pumpkin.
The same thing.
Pumpkin
They never,
2.
they never changed the style of
That's
the
very,
number 2.
that's very amateur.
I know. So, today, Dee Dee had them send out a thing. She made everyone write a 2, write down the number 2, and put your name beside it. So she find out who did this. And believe it or
I
not,
love it. No names.
the head supervisor of housekeeping.
Oh, okay.
Because her number 2, her 2 matches exactly, according to Dee Dee's eyes,
Well,
with whoever the culprit was.
this Dee Dee woman seems pretty astute to me from what you've said over the years. Well, 2.5, almost 3 years now, coming up. Yeah.
Because the way get
Up.
when I and the other houseman and the head supervisor was talking about this stuff, I thought, well, it'd be stupid if I'd vote on any of this stuff, considering I was in the competition. I would have found it unfair and to do so.
An ethical conundrum.
And they all agreed. Since we were in it, why should we vote on it? The ones that were not in it, yeah, let them vote. And let the guests go at it.
I love it.
But why would a guest stand there and go through
Well,
10, 12 ballots?
well, that's it. I don't know, let's have the hots for one of y'all.
Who knows?
Well, who knows? Who knows the secrets of the human heart?
It was not the how they did not do this to the housekeepers. The housekeepers,
Well, no, fortunately, they let them get on with their job.
right? But they didn't, just go up with the thing and have, write this numero down and name. It was just the hour later. So, it was ridiculous. I don't know what the outcome of this is going to be.
Well, there it is, guys.
All I know is my supervisor, she spun around in her desk chair. They think I'm guilty because mine matches it perfectly, according to Dee.
Well,
I said, well, stay tuned.
this may be the start of the tidal wave that will release you from the power of this individual. We shall see. So there we go. It's dark, guys, and we're out here about 6:30 here Eastern time, and Paul may be joining us here. He's getting ready to come out here. So we may have a little time to talk a little bit here. As it turns out, I just got off the horn with my ex-wife, God bless her, and we had a very, very civilized discussion. There was no Sturm und Drang, and her major beef was that because of the way her internet service provider connection is working, as near as I can tell, that's the problem, but I may be I may be completely wrong. See, I could hear her fine. She sounded fine, no breakup, it was okay. But she said I was breaking up. Well, yeah, I could hear I was breaking up because of the feedback, but she was also griping about the fact she was screechy. She sounded screechy to herself because she was getting feedback. And of course, what I wanted to say was, well, God bless you, honey. I mean, if you raise your voice and screech, you're going to sound screechy. But that didn't get much traction in a civilized discussion, does it? See, this is one of the advantages to being gay. You don't have to deal with that kind of crap. That's just the fact of the matter, guys. Now, she did mention that she's getting all these little update things on the side of her computer coming in saying update, update, update. Well, of course, I talked about the update problem the other day. Excuse me. And I indicated to her that she might have to do some of this stuff, and well, that evoked a defensive response. I said, well, call Thomas, have him come over and do this for you. I said, it'll take a while. I said, a side effect of that taking a while is that you'll be able to have a good long visit with Thomas. That seemed to fly by, so we don't know how that's going to work. So meanwhile, while we were in the midst of all this, fun conversation, a woman from church called. Now, God bless this woman. She's one of my favorite folks at church. She's in the Elder Guild. She was in this Bible study. Well, she still is in this Bible study group. So am I, in theory. She had as she often does, she has a medical problem for me. Not a medical problem about her per se, because that's somewhat unethical, but a medical problem about information that she's been told. And today's information concerned, what is it? Well, it concerns something, and I gave her an appropriate answer. Now, the problem is that, of course, my ex-wife was on the FaceTime thing with me, and now, surprisingly, she was very accommodating. and she sat there for 15 minutes. Well, it wasn't 15. She said it was 15 minutes. It wasn't 15 minutes. About 7 or 8 minutes. Listening to, because she could hear this woman's remarks, because I was talking to her on the actual phone, landline phone, and so she could sort of hear what we were saying, and so it was interesting. Here you've got these two, a 71-year-old woman and a 77-year-old woman interacting, well, without directly interacting, but interacting. Well, of course, the individual who called me didn't know that, so it's kind of like a one-sided interaction. That's a misnomer, isn't it? That's not even an oxymoron. That's just wrong. That's just inaccurate. So, Paul, come over here and sit here while we're having a thing here. So, well, yeah, so we talked about that. Anyway, so after about truly 15 minutes, Faith hung up, and that's fine. And then so this church woman and I continued our discussion, and we talked about intra-church choir politics, intra-church choir director. Hello, guys. Now, it turns out our battery died way back, so we'll soldier on here as best we can. I don't think I'm going to repeat much of anything, because when Paul came out here, that was that. So
when I was asked to sit, and I said I will as soon as I finish my quick smoke. And then when I started over here, that's when the back of the camera went black.
Oh, he could see
that meant that's when
the
battery died.
Yeah, he could see the back of the camera while he was over there having a smoke. That's true. Oh, that's an interesting little technique to know about. So anyway, I may have implied that I was on the horn with my ex-wife for a while, and she was very much distressed about the sound on her internet connection, and why did it sound screechy? Well, she was getting feedback, and of course she's got the iMac with the speakers pointing at her, and it's in a small room. I don't know whether it's feedback because of she sits so close, or she's got everything. I don't know. And I've gotten that occasionally. I can certainly hear her feedback, so her complaint is real. And well, it's interesting that over the course of the evening, we just heard some animal. I don't know what that was. Over the course of the evening, or afternoon rather, the screeching. Well, the screeching feedback became less, but the screeching didn't necessarily. The original screeching didn't necessarily go away. Let's put it that way.
By the way, the animals sound kind of coonish to me.
What way? Oh, well, I mean, we'll have to scan the trees here. We may have to do a little wet work here out of the trees tonight.
Yeah, they just run around.
Well, we haven't done that.
Right
Well,
now.
we generally do it. We generally do it in October anyway. We often nail these guys. We'll have to.
Yeah, I know.
We'll have to work on. Now, I want you to wake me up. If you think anything needs to be done.
Well, if I hear any scratching.
Oh, absolutely. No,
That's usually what it is.
Oh yeah, I want to know. I'm gonna do
Scratch
this.
and scraping, you got a coon.
I want to hear 30-pound bodies dropping here is what I want to hear.
Hopefully none of them attacking.
Well, they won't if you shoot them properly in the head.
Yeah, I know, but a couple of years back, they would come down.
You
and come after
you can't get a clean kill every time, can you?
Oh, but we do give it a good shot.
Well, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Well, so in the midst of all this fun and largesse, I got a call from a woman from church, and God bless this woman. She's a good soul. She goes to the Bible study and or what used to be called Bible study. Well, it's called Bible study. It's not study.
It's a discussion of
it's a discussion.
chapters.
Well, yeah.
Of the Bible.
The hermeneutic is not one I like, and she asked me a direct question. Why don't you come? Well, if I'm asking a direct question, I give you a direct answer.
The toy book.
I said, because I can't stand the Good News Bible that this fellow reads.
The toy book.
Well, I wouldn't characterize it as a toy book. It's not even a book. It's a morass of idiocy and moronity. You know, the Good News Bible. Give me a break. I heard a thing today, or read a thing today in the Daily Telegraph, that there's some dude in North Carolina burning books, including all of the Bibles that aren't King James Version translations. Now, I would never burn a book. Period. Never burn a book. Period.
Especially a Bible.
Well,
I mean, it's kind of like burning the flag.
Even a purported, and I emphasize purported Bible, which the Good News Bible is not. It's purported to be a Bible. But no, you don't do that. So, yeah, oh wow. Well, so then we talked about, Faith and I talked about, funeral messages. Well, of course, they have these internet-y funeral messages, and I told her how to find the internet-y funeral messenger thing, on her buds or her friends or colleague, that's better.
I'd go directly to them and instead of a memorial.
Well, she wants to be able to send an actual email message to this
directly
man.
to.
Well, this man's wife.
Right.
And so I hope she has good luck finding that. And so any new treats today?
No, not other than what I told you about the number 2.
Well, now there may well be some wet work we may have to show you tonight later on about these raccoons if they get up into the trees, but we don't know yet. Now, see, the dogs would keep us informed of this, but they're dead now.
Oh, especially Shaq.
Oh yeah, Shackleton
Shaq was on it in a moment.
Shackleton was on the case. He was on the case. Well, I'm going to say bye-bye now, YouTubers. God bless y'all.